Last name, and what district are you running for?
Lori Harris, Orange County
Here,
Commissioner,
look it up.
District 4. Hi.
Oh, so just, I guess, for people who haven't met you, just kind of give us some background. Tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been 3 years serving Mayor Dyer as his senior advisor on homelessness and social services. And as he described today, some of the most complex issues, including helping to create the support system for those who are directly impacted by Pulse, and also realizing and understanding how to bring down federal dollars for city and local government priorities. And so that brought in over $8 million to Central Florida to create that system of care, whether that's for our first responders or for the families or for those who are directly impacted by Pulse. Prior to that, I spent 14 years in international development with Habitat for Humanity International. I've worked on, for the past 4 years prior to coming to the city of Orlando, I spent 4 years in Haiti doing disaster recovery. I worked directly with President Carter and Rosalind Carter to build permanent housing, but also really focused on livelihood programs and property rights and women's rights. And so with this broad base of experience, and proven track record of success, I believe I will bring a distinct opportunity for voters to choose for District 4.
Tell us, why should people think about you for District 4?
Again, I think it's about bringing a fresh perspective. There's something very creative that's called, so we all know what deja vu is, right? Where you see something over again that you thought you saw before. Well, there's something called, so there's vujade, then there's deja vu. Or obviously vujade. So there's deja vu, and now there's vujade. So vujade means that you see the same thing, but with a fresh set of eyes. And that's what I will be bringing to District 4 and Orange County Board of Commissioners. There is a time for us to challenge the status quo. There's a lot of great things that Orange County has done, but I believe the best is yet to come. When we think about innovation, when we think about best practices that are happening across the country when it comes to local government, and Orange County is the tipping point for transformational change that could happen in our region, and I believe I'm the person that can help bring up that there.
What are the biggest, you see the biggest issues in District 4 right now?
I think there's several, and I think, it's across zip codes. I understand that there's boundaries to districts, but all the work that I've done throughout my career, that isn't about boundaries or geographics. When it comes to affordable housing, when it comes to homelessness, it's important that we look together as a region. When you think about building 50 to 100 years down the road, when it comes to transportation, when it comes to livable cities, when it comes not just to smart growth, but smarter growth, that means looking at not what's just happening in our district or in our zip codes, but across the region, because we can only move together in making transformational changing and making access to resources, transportation, quality schools, where it's in every zip code, and everybody has access to those resources, including our youth and small children. So it's very important that we begin to focus back to our local communities when it comes to making sure that our youth has access to resources and a support system that's not just within their home, but also outside of their home.
I mean, District 4 is booming right now. Why is it important to kind of keep everything going good and go in the right direction, because it could easily veer off in the wrong direction?
Sure. Well, I think it's, again, important that we keep pace with not just the growth, but the vision. And I think creating a vision around what District 4 is, what it is and what it could be is very important. And I think that's what's lacking. I think we're just kind of looking through and going through the machine and going through the processes. And what I'm looking to do is create more efficient processes so people can, one, like working with local government, but two, also be able to build quickly a holistic approach to building a stronger community in District 4, and also creating a sense of cohesion when it comes to the entire Orange County. This isn't just about districts competing for resources. This is about all of Orange County and all of Central Florida moving together for a holistic vision, which is why we have Mayor Dyer and Mayor Alvarez joining me today, because they understand that holistic regional approach to transformational change.
Why is it important, I guess, to be a fresh face? So it sounds like that's something you want to play on here, and you want to be someone new, something different. Why is it good to get different people in the government?
Well, I think because you get stuck in the muck. You're used to kind of seeing and doing things the same way. And again, you don't have that vujade. And I challenge anybody to look at my track record, what I have been known for. And if you ask, even when I worked in Haiti and I worked internationally for 14 years, they saw me as an entrepreneur. I came in and fixed broken systems or created systems that never were there before. Similar to the system that we created around homelessness and how we got to end veterans' homelessness, but also around the system of care for those who faced a mass tragedy. That Resiliency Center, that Orlando United Assistance Center, has not been done before. This is unpaved roads that I'm used to paving, and that's what I'll bring to District 4.
Well, there was, obviously you responded to the criticism earlier this week of some of your opponents that thought you were Buddy Dyer's candidate, not your own candidate, your own woman here. Walk us through a little bit the decision process you went through as you decided you wanted to run for public office, you decided you wanted to run for this seat. Who did you consult with? How did you reach that decision?
Thank you, Scott, for also reiterating the fact that I am my own woman. I don't need any man who finds himself in a sense of power or at a seat of power to endorse me or to back me. I am my own woman with my own proven track record of success that will bring that fresh perspective. The process for me, as you can see, I mean, I'm late into the game. I understand that, but as you've seen from my life history, I love a challenge. I love when someone says never to me. That only makes me double down on these efforts. And what it took was when I started talking to my neighbors, when I started talking to homeowner association presidents, when I started talking to the kids that go to my son's school and things that were happening across the country, whether it's what happened in Parkland, which triggered a lot of things even for me in working with the Pulse survivors and the Pulse families. There was a sense of, well, what do we do with our vote? They came to me and said, what do we do? What do we do? And, you know, local government is the laboratory for democracy. And so it's really important that we look at our local government and see how do we start there to make transformational change. And when I looked at my opponent and what she brought to the table, I believe that I will bring a distinct difference in how I will approach this work, and also in my proven track record of success, and then also in a determination to make sure that we make government more accessible to our citizens and more friendly to those who want to collaborate and partner with Orange County.
You talked about your opponent in the singular word. There are actually 6 candidates in this race now, including a couple of other Democrats. Can you talk generally about as you looked at the field and what you thought of who was running?
Right. So, you know, I think the encouragement was that I do bring even distinct experience, distinct skills, distinct leadership than from anybody that's currently in the field. I think I honor the work and the efforts that all the candidates have. And what I believe in is to give voters a choice. And I believe that this is a new, you know, fresh, again, I know we're utilizing that word, not just because it's my logo, but, you know, we are utilizing a fresh person that is going to take a new way of looking at things and looking at it and saying, how can we do things more efficiently, more effectively, and again, dream big.
This, of course, is a nonpartisan election. The parties, of course, are still going to line up behind whoever is left over after the primary on this. You just changed your party affiliation, I understand, from NPA to Democrat?
That's correct.
Why?
Well, I was NPA for a long period of time because I wanted to be sure that when I represented Mayor Dyer and when I lived here, that I took a neutral stance. It's important for us to look collaborative or be collaborative and create partnerships. And so I didn't want to be in one, I guess, stuck in one identification. Now that I am running for a political office, it's very important for myself and for voters to know where I stand. The past 2 years has shown that there is very clear definitions of what people want and what people don't want and what they've realized I don't want anymore. And so that's the reason I finally, and I have voted, if you look at my voting record, I've voted in the Democratic races and voted for Democrats throughout.
I'm good.
Anything else? What's your age, by the way?
I am 42. No, yeah.